Hello everyone and welcome to game 2 in the series. So far, I do believe Ted has a 1-0 lead in this series as we do move to game 2 here on Twisted Meadows. Sky spawning as the yellow undead player here on the bottom left hand side of the map. Sorry, Ted spawning as the yellow undead player on the bottom left hand side of the map. Sky spawning as the blue human player on the bottom right hand side of the map at what I'll call the 4 o'clock position here on Twisted Meadows. Now game 1, it really felt like Sky tried everything in his playbook in order to take the victory there, but there was a little bit of dead time where he wasn't doing a lot and he wasn't preventing Ted from being actually able to creep. Once Ted's Death Knight got to level 3, things really started looking up and up for Sky, since Sky knows that it's rather difficult to even get to level 4, let alone level 5, and level 5 is when it really matters for that Mountain King. The jump from 3 to 4, not nearly as big as that jump from 4 to 5 on a Mountain King, since the Mountain King is able to train that all-important level 3 Stormbolt, dealing 350 damage almost instantaneously, shutting down a ghoul and really damaging a crypt fiend. Also, we saw that Ted utilized that lich extremely well, making sure that with that frost armor those crypt fiends never fell, even though we saw Sky try and utilize that Dust of Appearance to make sure that there were no burrowing crypt fiends. Now, Archmage is already out, trains up a Water Elemental. The Water Elemental already making its way over as we see one Acolyte just trying to slip around. Is that Acolyte going to be able to do very much? I don't believe so. Acolyte does fall. Archmage is going to get in position. This is a lot of militia, much more than your typical 7. He's actually running in with, I believe, 8 or 9. And a second Water Elemental will be dropped in here in just a moment. Alright, the speed building will allow this Archmage to get to level 2 rather quickly. Meanwhile, this one Water Elemental has been tanking enough damage as a low hit point militia backing off. We are going to see a Tome of Experience and also a bonus aura there. Only one additional aura, not very helpful. Additional 6% more hit points as the Death Knight now looks to come in. Death Coil would not have made it, as the militia would have been able to finish it off based upon the animation. Death Knight now wandering around still. Where is he going to be traveling, as skeletal minions are pretty much just giving free experience now to that Archmage. Peasants now need to back off. Footmen are perhaps ready to re-engage and go. The Death Knight may be able to exchange blows once more. There's a Death Coil again. The Archmage does have that bonus aura of Devotion aura, but it does not help him from the Death Coil, as the Archmage damage already at 240 hit points as he is slowly regenerating his hit points there. Now, Sky, for some reason, did not upgrade this Arcane Tower, perhaps low on lumber, calling over way too many militia. Archmage still wandering around in circles, trying to get away from that Death Knight. The Death Knight is pretty much just launching Death Coils as he gets caught behind a tree, losing line of sight and unable to follow. We are going to see that Archmage now back away, or come back over here. Footman keeping track of where these crypt fiends are. Ted does have a 1-0 advantage in this series, as the Archmage most likely going to sell the Devotion aura and pick up Boots of Speed and Staff of Teleportation. Also decides to sell the Scroll of Town Portal, and where will he be traveling to next? A level 3 Archmage could deal a lot of damage as the Crypt Fiends and Skeletal Minions are now making their way in. Still no upgrade on that Scout Tower. Still no upgrade on that Scout Tower, so the Skeletal Minions will be able to run amok here if they decide to. Archmage now coming back in, does pick up a couple of mercenaries, and how much damage is he hoping to do here? You got to remember also Abolish Magic, the absolute best skill to shut down Skeletal Minions, especially coming in from a human player, as the human player does have that Brilliance aura in order to give more mana to this Troll Shadow Priest. Troll Shadow Priest may be in a little bit of trouble, though. He's actually going to get exposed, and now Sky, already realizing the situation, decides to back away and hide. Militia now being called over here. Sky is going to be caught in a very dangerous situation. He may end up actually giving level 2 to Ted's Death Knight, as the Crypt Fiends are now looking to come in. Level 3 now on that Archmage. There is a level 2 Water Elemental, and level 2 Water Elemental is extremely tanky and very effective at dealing damage. The Death Knight now trying to make its way over. Are we going to see this Ogre Warrior fall? The Ogre Warrior already down to 59 hit points. Why isn't it getting attacked as a Troll Shadow Priest does fall here? Militia now being called over to try to push back the Crypt Fiends. A beautiful, beautiful micro coming in from Sky, being able to handle 2 fights at the same time. He is losing a whole bunch of footmen and militia here, though, so I guess he isn't handling himself that well, as we are getting a medallion or a pair up of vitality. Additional hit points on that Archmage, but that Archmage really needs to regenerate a lot more hit points if it hopes to stay in this game. Sitting at 300 hit points, about over 675. The footmen still do not have defend, actually taking a lot of damage here as the Death Knight down to 118, able to retreat and perhaps do hit and runs with these Crypt Fiends, as the Crypt Fiends are slightly faster with the help of that Death Knight. You can see the little bit of micro coming in here from Ted, utilizing these Crypt Fiends and making sure that the Death Knight is always nearby, at least close enough to give this aura. Ted now down to 3 operational Crypt Fiends. These 2 he does not want to lose, as the Water Elementals are now making their way over. Water Elementals are significantly slower than Crypt Fiends, as we are now going to see a quick turnaround and an attack there. Water Elementals still pushing back, as the Archmage perhaps looking to pick up some dust of appearance and make sure that Burrow does not become an issue. Alright, Death Knight and Archmage going to be coming in for that engagement, but the Lich with Frost Armor, no, Frost Nova first this time, and that may actually become a problem, as Ted, even though he will be able to pick off running units, is not going to be able to save his Crypt Fiends nearly as well. Footman now looking to back away. We are speed building an arcane vault over here at the natural expansion. One water elemental most likely will get taken down. A beautiful block by Ted, and is it going to be enough to get that water elemental to fall down to 83 hit points? And it does fall and sacrifice itself to the creeps. Level 3 on that Archmage. Clarity Potion being used. Healing Scroll being used, as the Archmage now looking to try and run away, perhaps live and fight another day. The Crypt Fiends, however, have a different idea, as they're going to be pressuring into this 4 o'clock expansion location. Alright, what's going to be happening here? The Scout Tower quickly taken down. It did have light armor as it was built, as the Archmage now needs to back away here. Crypt Fiends focusing down the Water Elemental. It looks like the Footmen are now making their way over. How much damage are they looking to deal? Footmen now getting in some easy attacks on some running Crypt Fiends, but no movement speed bonus for Sky's units make it so that the Footmen are not able to deal that much damage. So Footmen, all these units are still trying to run away with no Mountain King for a Stormbolt. The units will be able to back off again. We are still sitting at Town Hall, 44 over 48 supply. It looks like another militia or peasant was taken down somewhere on the map. Footmen are still trying to regroup themselves, as the Archmage once again using up another healing scroll. Alright, Ted now trying to regroup. Where is he going to go? Death Knight now sitting at level 2. Lich sitting at level 1. And really, that Lich has not been utilizing that Frost Armor all that much. Is he going to be able to take down some of these units, slow them down, and get in a lot of damage as well? There is one Obsidian statue, and oh, there is that Frost Armor, or there's that Frost Nova there. Nice little bloom of cold death, as we are going to be going into an engagement. Ted now perhaps going to start burrowing his Crypt Fiends. That is not going to be good at all for him, as the Death Knight is going to be forced to keep up his entire army without the help of Frost Armor. The Footmen, if they were actually dealing with Frost Armor, would not be able to take down any of these units, as the slow debuff and the attack debuff would make it near impossible. Alright, one very gung-ho Footman actually getting completely surrounded by Crypt Fiends and Obsidian statues. The Crypt Fiends now backing off over here, and this is going to be a good engagement for Ted, as Ted just pretty much has all of the units in the right location. He's forcing Sky to really clump up his units there. But if Ted does end up losing an Obsidian statue or even 2, that is going to hurt him in the long run. Obsidian statue is now down to 78 hit points. They are trying to run away. We can see level 2 now on the Crypt Fiend. No Frost Armor coming in, and it looks like Sky is going to end up losing that Footman there. It looks as though another Obsidian statue. Where is it going to go? It looks like the Archmage may turn around, does hit a fireball on it, does take it down. One Obsidian statue does go down, but Ted able to save his low hit point Crypt Fiend to live and fight another day. Level 2 versus level 3. You can see now Archmage has teleported back home, utilizing a Clarity Potion, getting close to level 4. We are now upgrading to Tier 2 as the Death Knight with an Obsidian Statue and Crypt Fiends are looking to put down the pressure. Crypt Fiends now looking to perhaps take down this Arcane Tower and take down all of these Scout Towers before they get up and operational. More Footmen now making their way over as well. It looks as though the Crypt Fiends should be able to take this down, and yes, it does go down in a matter of seconds. However, Goblin Shredder dealing loads of damage per attack. You can see how much damage that Goblin Shredder really does deal, but the Goblin Shredder also does take focus fire from those Crypt Fiends. Going back and forth, Ted getting off a very nice debuff, taking down multiple Footmen here as the Death Knight still chasing after units, and there's a Death Coil onto an Archmage. Archmage, Sky is in trouble. Sky now trying to run away, and it looks like he will be able to survive. Obsidian Statues low on hit points as well. Water Elemental now trying to do a little bit of a poke there, and Sky is going to lose this game, I believe. He's not going to be able to hold on to this, and Ted is doing an absolute great job in this series, as Ted, even though he is once again behind in total score, does take game 2. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please stay tuned for game 3.